Hello and welcome to the show. You know, we've got a great show lined up for you today. If you have ever wondered about the vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, we have someone here with us today who's going to talk a lot about what that's like. She's going to share her personal journey of moving from being a vegetarian to being a vegan. And as you know, vegan is a lot more tougher than being a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not experienced enough yet to become a vegan, but Breanna Hawkins is, and we're glad to have her here with us today. Anna, thank you so much for being on the show.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know what? I got word of you by way of your uncle, and you told him about a vegan Mexican restaurant. I'm just going to say Mexican, Hispanic restaurant in Pleasant Grove.
El Pelote.
El Pelote.
Yeah.
I can hardly say it, but the food was great.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. I mean, first of all, before we get into all that, let's talk about Anna. Who exactly is Breanna Hawkins?
Anna is a busy person that's always learning and on the go and just like out trying to experience life. So
Yes.
just trying different things. And I really, when a new concept pops up, I'm always open to it. And that's really how I got into being first pescatarian and vegetarian, because I was like, well, I don't know what this is, so why not learn about it?
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I wasn't taught that, so I'm just gonna not even try to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that because so many people close their mind to things, close their minds to opportunities because maybe they're not familiar with it, so they just turn it away. What made you embrace the idea of it?
So I guess looking around at my family and saying, okay, this person is diabetic, or this person has high blood pressure, or this person has had a stroke. And when you're younger, they seem a lot older to you. And then you get older, maybe in high school, and you realize, well, these people are not that old. Why are they having all these health issues? And I started to link it to maybe diet. Because when I was really in tune with my body at a young age, so when I ate certain things, I knew like, I don't have as much energy as I do when I maybe just eat this.
Yeah.
So I just started to play around with that.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you when you started to, I guess, venture into being a pescatarian?
I would say 14. I was like, I want to
14.
do this. Yeah. I was 14 and I was like, okay, what does that mean? I'm at school Googling the word and like what different types of seafood I could try out. I already really, at that time, I liked crab. So I would do that, and then salmon, and just kind of play around with what I could do with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did your parents think? I mean, because like you said, you didn't grow up like this. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're still in their home at 14 years old.
Yeah.
So, you know, they probably are not cooking salmon. So what are you going to do at that point?
No, well, my dad would try to at least incorporate some of those in the grocery shopping.
Good.
And we had a George Foreman grill, so I would just grill a lot of the seafood that I wanted.
So you had to cook that yourself.
Yeah, but I would get whatever the sides were that we were eating that day. And then there would be some days where I would just eat sides.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard you say dad incorporate, because I know mom's like, hey, I'm cooking this and this is it. You gonna eat this or nothing
Yeah.
else. Was your mom like that or no?
My mom was not in the picture, so it was just like my dad doing most of the cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this though. I mean, you're 14 years old. You're saying, okay, I'm going to take on this whole new lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle. It's not a diet.
Yeah.
Most folks make the mistake of calling this a diet. This is
Yeah.
a lifestyle. Do you feel at 14 that you're saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick to this, I'm going to commit to it?
I really wanted to, but a lot of the times I was just noticing I don't have all the means, especially at 14, to continue to incorporate this, and my family is going to continue to eat exactly the way they wanted to. So it was sporadic, and I did what I could, but I definitely wasn't doing the beef or the pork anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a few years down the line, I got my first job, and I would eat at my first job a lot, and they had a lot of vegetarian options. So it was a Mexican restaurant or Hispanic restaurant that's on the border, so they consider themselves a Mexican grill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would do just like bean and cheese tacos and rice and stuff like that, and veggie fajitas. So it got increasingly easier to be pescatarian, vegetarian, and still every now and then I was still having some of those dishes where it was like, oh, just try this meat. I cooked it. Please just try it and tell me how it's seasoned. So obviously that's there because I don't live on my own. And then once I hit 18, that's when I was really able to commit, because I wasn't living at home anymore.
Right.
And it was exciting.
So let's embrace this. Let me frame this a little bit. You have now been a vegan for how long?
3 years.
3 years now.
It's a little over 3 almost, but 3 solid years of veganism, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to lead us back up to that in just a moment, but I want to delve back just a little bit. This pescatarian thing. So pescatarian simply is eating only seafood, fish, seafood.
Yeah, well, not only you still eat your veggies and grains like
What?
any
In terms of
anything else
meat?
yeah, in terms of meat, you're just doing the seafood. Yeah,
Yeah, that was fairly easy for you.
fairly easy. Yeah.
Yeah, once you got out got out on your own,
Yeah.
that became a lot easier for
Oh
you.
yeah.
Okay, so let's now. Well, you know what? I tell you what, we're going to go to commercial break. Once we come back, I want to then talk about the vegetarian lifestyle and how you were able to manage that.
Cool.
All right. So everything you always wanted to know about vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, you're going to get it here today. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of Breanna Hawkins in just a moment.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking with Breanna Hawkins, a vegan expert. I'm just going to call her an expert. She's been dodging that topic. It's like, oh no, I'm not an expert. But she certainly knows everything that I need to know about making the transition to becoming a vegan. We talked before we went to break, we talked about the fact that you started out as a pescatarian, a teenage pescatarian at that.
Yeah.
And, I guess I didn't ask you, how was that like going out with your friends? Because they want to go to McDonald's or wherever at 14 years old. What did you do?
Every now and then, it would depend on where we went. I went to college or high school in Cedar Hill, so we would go to restaurants. I guess, I don't know, the first person got their car and we're like, let's just go to a restaurant instead of going to McDonald's.
That's right. Y'all didn't do fast food in Cedar Hill. Y'all go to a restaurant.
Apparently, yeah. So we would go to restaurants and I would get like the seafood options. But if someone did want to go to like a Whataburger or something like that, I would just get the chicken option.
Okay.
Yeah. So no more burgers at that point, no more fast food burgers. And that's pretty crazy to think back and think, wow, I was raised on fast food.
Yeah.
And then at that early point in my life, no more fast food burgers.
You know what I will tell you? It really is an eye-opening thing when you can no longer go through a drive-through and just grab something when you're on the go.
Yeah.
And it can be challenging. But when you make the commitment to this lifestyle, you really have to stick with it.
Definitely.
And you actually took it up a notch.
Yeah.
You went from being a pescatarian to vegetarian. A lot of people actually go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
What made you go from being a pescatarian to vegetarian?
I guess I started to see that, you have to filter out the thoughts and everyone else's sayings of, oh, you're going to go underweight, or oh, you're not going to get enough protein. So once you start to filter that out and then you're doing it, you see, I'm not dying and my energy's not depleted. So that's what pushed me to go further. I was like, I can now like take out the seafood if I replace it with these things. I started to think, what am I going to replace it with? It's going to be more vegetables, and I'm going to start complementing them in different ways on different dishes.
Yeah.
And I decided at that time to study nutrition. So that I had a really great intro to nutrition instructor that was not biased on just eating meat. So she talked about all different types of diets.
So how do you incorporate dairy into your diet at all?
Not at all.
Okay, so vegetarian, you're not doing any dairy products, anything?
Oh, vegetarian, yes.
Okay.
But now as a vegan, no.
As a vegan?
When
no.
I was vegetarian, yeah, the big things, I started early as well. I weeded out the cow milk. So I was doing almond milk, and then I started to learn, there's cashew milk and coconut milk. But at that time I was doing the almond milk, and then I was still doing egg, sometimes certain types of cheese, and then yogurt.
Yeah, as a vegetarian.
As a
You're not doing
vegetarian.
those things today as a vegan.
I still do yogurt, but it's vegan yogurt. I still do cheese sometimes, but it's vegan cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can still have all the things that you enjoy having,
Yeah.
just make sure that they don't have all the other
Yeah.
byproducts that we don't want to incorporate.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about this then, because you mentioned the fact that when you became a vegetarian, the concern was how you're going to get protein, that type of thing.
Yes.
How did you get Talk about some ways that folks that are asking that question, I'm thinking about going to the vegetarian lifestyle, but how do I get my protein?
Yes. So early on, the knowledge is limited because you're still learning, and you're always going to be learning based on your body, based on what you need at that point in your life. At that point, all I knew was beans and rice give you complete protein. So beans and rice was the base of a lot. And then I would do beans and rice with different types of vegetables, like whether it was broccoli or whether it was like, what am I going to do with the spinach, asparagus, and throw in some other like onions, tomatoes, just like really season it as well. And then I started to expand. Oh, there are different grains. I don't always have to do rice. I can do quinoa. I can do buckwheat, like all these other different types of grains that I could experience that even had superior nutrients to rice.
Okay.
So that's where it started. And then I started to learn that really leafy greens had so much protein in them.
Yeah.
And really everything has the building blocks of protein, amino acids, because if you can be allergic to something, it has to have some type of protein in there.
That's true. Yeah.
So everything has amino acids, and it's just a matter of putting them together to create complete proteins that your body can use.
Okay.
So,
But like you said earlier, it's about being in tune with your body to
Yeah.
know what it is you can and cannot, consume.
Definitely.
Okay. That's the number one question. Where am I going to get my protein? What's the next question that you hear from folks most often when they're considering going into the vegetarian lifestyle?
I would say the protein, is one. The next one is, what else do I eat?
Yeah. Well,
they act like
snacks.
they-
Maybe it's your
yeah.
snacks. What type of, I like sweets and that type of thing. So what
Yeah.
type of sweets can I consume?
Right. I love sweets too. I used to love baking, but I still do that stuff. It's just a matter of now clean baking. So
Okay.
what are my substitutes as far as sweeteners? And obviously now I don't do the egg or the cow milk. So I would do like flax seeds, bananas, dates, and then coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk. It's all these things that create the same beautiful texture, probably even better.
Okay. So you really just have to be creative.
Creative.
Okay.
You got to have fun.
And
And
then-
it can be fun.
I guess you become a part of a community.
Yeah.
Embrace other folks who are living the same lifestyle and they're sharing ideas.
Yeah.
That being said, what are some of are there any websites or apps or things that you recommend that folks who are considering the vegetarian lifestyle? We're going to get into the vegan lifestyle in just a moment.
Okay.
But for folks who are considering vegetarian, any communities that they should probably become a part of that you're aware of?
They're on Facebook, and I am not big on Facebook, but someone told me that North Texas Vegans
Okay.
is really good. And at one point in my life where I had to have Facebook for work, I just decided, why not?
Yeah.
Go on there. And then I saw that they were posting a lot of like, oh, this is my grocery list for this week. I'm trying to find a few more items. What should I add to it? Or this is what I found at this grocery store. If you guys have been looking for it, I finally found it.
Yeah.
Or this brand is new at Kroger. And it's so amazing that they're all helping each other to find like everything they need to continue to live a fulfilling lifestyle as a vegan.
Yeah, so if you're really committed to it, you seek
Yeah.
out the information and you can find it. I mean, I have a Fitbit, and even in the Fitbit community now, there is an opportunity for folks to share ideas in terms of
Yeah.
how they're managing their weight and how they're eating healthy. And there are vegetarian options that come on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I'm just excited to see, really, even as a young person, how you took this on at 14 years old and have remained committed to this. In fact, even progressed in it.
Yeah.
Because again, starting out pescatarian and moving all the way to a vegan lifestyle. I want to talk more about it. We'll be back with more of Breanna Hawkins in just a moment. You stay with us.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Hello and welcome to the show. We are off and running and having a great conversation today with Breanna Hawkins. Breanna Hawkins is a vegan, but she has tried pescatarian. Well, she successfully completed pescatarian, let me say it that way. And she moved from pescatarian to becoming a vegetarian. And today she is a vegan, and she's sharing all the principles of that lifestyle with us. So you just tuned into a great show. Breanna, all right, so we talked about the fact that as a young person, you jumped into the pescatarian lifestyle, successfully completed that, moved into being a vegetarian, and you thought, you know what, I'm liking the way I'm doing this vegetarian thing, so I want to go ahead and take it all the way and become a vegan. And I say it that way because I was a vegan too for about 2 days. I was not as successful. I couldn't have cookies, I couldn't have anything. First of all, talk about the vegan lifestyle and the difference between vegan and vegetarian.
The energy. So the amount of hours I work in a week and the amount of stuff I do every day, I should be exhausted. I shouldn't be able to keep going. I should be mentally and emotionally drained. Yeah. But I find that food and real whole food gives you that support to keep going, even though you still need sleep. It's just that's a big reason why I keep doing it, is because I feel good and I'm able to complete what I need to complete in a week.
Man, okay, so you've talked about this busy lifestyle. Give us an idea of what your week, what a day is like, a week is like for you.
Let me give you a Wednesday, because Wednesdays get hard. Okay. So I wake up and then I teach at 6 a.m., which finally that class is switched to Tuesday, but I still do it at 6 a.m. at least twice a week.
And what do you teach?
Yoga.
Okay.
Yes, on a surfboard.
So you're yogans? Yoga on a surfboard?
City surf. Yeah, okay. City surf fitness. So I do that, and then I try to squeeze an unrealistic nap in, and then I'm almost late to cleaning a yoga studio. So I clean the yoga studio at Core Power, and it's like work for trade where you get unlimited practice, and you just clean like for an hour a week. Yeah, an hour and a half a week. Then I try to squeeze another nap in, but I probably end up like writing another yoga sequence or creating another playlist. And I probably should be cleaning at that point, which I end up doing. So the nap ends up being like 10 minutes before I go to work.
Okay.
And then sometimes I teach another class that night at that city surf. Yeah.
And the teaching these classes, these are 45 minutes to an hour, correct?
They're 50 minutes, yeah.
So 50-minute class. So that means you're teaching. You say teaching, but really you're working out 3 times on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it could be like that. And sometimes you want to like minimize what you're doing to pay attention to the form of the students, but sometimes it's like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't always have to actually practice it. You're really
Not
giving the
always.
instruction and then observing to
Yeah.
make sure they're okay. I'm like, because I'm thinking, man,
demoing,
3 full
yeah.
workouts. So that's
Well,
a lot.
I take a class too. I didn't include that. So whether it's like one of the breaks between where I go to work and teach, I may take a class, or I may end up back at my apartment cleaning or something, or taking a nap, or I take a class at the end of the day.
So it's this lifestyle that you attribute having this level of energy to be able to complete this to.
Oh yeah.
Man. Okay. All right. So vegetarian simply means, you can eat vegetables, but then you can still do eggs and that type of thing.
Eggs, milk.
When
cheese,
you say vegan,
dairy.
that means you're not eating anything that's basically, I guess the way someone summed it up for me was anything that has a mother. You don't eat that.
Yeah.
So it's strictly plant-based.
It's strictly plant-based, yeah. And I know some vegans, this is a touchy subject, but some vegans do honey. And this is why I say with the labels, like, maybe don't confine yourself to a label. Maybe just do what's best for you and your ethics and morals. Some vegans do honey. And then the debate is like, is the honey ethical? Technically, honey is not plant-based, but technically you're not eating animal parts. So it's all kind of weird, but honey's so beneficial for the environment, and it can be beneficial for the health as well.
So I don't want to delve into it too much either because I'm not totally versed in the subject, but I guess based on what you just described, the issue is the fact that honey's not plant-based, but neither is milk. So why is there even a question about milk then? If you're saying it's okay to eat honey, then why is it okay not to drink milk?
Well, because of all the components of milk, but we probably don't want to go into that because it can get pretty gross.
What do you say, Chris? You really don't want to venture down that road.
Probably don't want to go down that road of what's in milk.
You're too green to try to go down that road.
But I'll give you this. If you think about it, breast milk, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are the only mammals that continue to drink like breast milk from like another animal.
Okay.
Throughout our lives.
Okay, so let's talk about this weather we've been having the last couple of seconds. You're right.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that we continue to do that, and not to mention like the animal cruelty that goes along with taking the cow milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not a great comparison then. Okay.
Yeah.
So honey is up for debate with
Yes.
vegans. Now here's another thing though. This is totally off subject here, but the vegans. I guess my wife was telling me something because we're really exploring the vegetarian lifestyle. Slowly progressing to possibly vegan.
Yeah.
But I guess Oreo cookies.
Oreo cookies are considered vegan. And
Why?
it's one of those things
She
that
told me that. I'm like,
accident.
I don't believe that.
No, you should believe it. Yeah.
Oreo
it's
cookies?
like by accident.
As great as they are, how could they not be not good for you?
That's what people think. So when you say vegan, when you say whole plant-based, clean, and then when you say vegan, they're different. They both have in common that they don't contain any animal product. But when you think about processed food, it can still be vegan.
Yeah.
Food that has been completely processed and altered and genetically modified to taste a certain way or make you feel a certain way, versus food that straight from the farm or straight from the garden that maybe you just sauteed a little bit or steamed and lightly prepared for yourself is totally different.
Okay.
So that's the difference with that's why Oreos are accidentally vegan.
Yeah.
And some people really enjoy them, but they're still pretty processed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she said. They were on some accidentally vegan list, and there's a list of items that wind up on that list.
Just happen to be vegan. Yeah, they just happen to not include any milk or egg in the making, which is pretty cool because they realize, we don't have to do this to make these cookies. Yeah.
And it seems like you have really put a system in place. Just kind of knowing the backstory, you have found all of the vegan restaurants that you can go to, for when you're on the go.
Yeah.
and you don't have time to prepare something at home. I talked about it earlier that when you introduced your uncle to a vegan Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Man, we went into that place and I'm looking barbecue sandwich, tacos. I'm thinking, okay. I said, so is this entire place vegetarian? No, sir, we're vegan.
Yeah.
And then when I get the menudo, I'm like, and how is this menudo vegan? I'm looking at what appears to be meat in there.
Yeah.
But you say it's a soy-based product.
Soy-based. You can do so much with soybeans, the way you cook them, the way you ferment them to create a really soft or pliable texture that you can then either marinate or season.
Yeah.
You can grill it, you can put it in the oven, you can saute it, whatever you want to do with it, and that's your like meat substitute. If people really want that texture.
I will tell you, I'm eating the barbecue sandwich there and I'm thinking, man, this is like sliced beef.
Yeah.
It really did have a texture like sliced beef and really very tasty.
Yeah.
So my wife was like, yeah, we're coming back here.
It's good.
So it's those type of restaurants that you've been able to, bring into your system to where if you're out on the go somewhere, you can maintain your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Talk about the importance of that.
The importance is like still maintaining a social life, I guess, too, or a life of convenience sometimes. So you have a place like El Pelote where if you want to meet up with friends, you can introduce them to it. And if they're not vegan or vegetarian, they can still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then places like Nature's Plate, I don't think I told you about that one, but it's like a plant-based grab and go. Mm-hmm. And it's on Northwest Highway in Dallas. Basically, you go in there and they have breakfast, soups, they have desserts and everything in there. Yeah. And it's all plant-based and they don't do any refined ingredients. So instead of white sugar, they're doing this organic cane sugar. Yeah. Or dates or something like that, bananas to sweeten. Okay. So you go in there and you can just grab your stuff and go. Okay. So that's super convenient instead of going to a drive-through. Yeah, you have to get out of your car, but
it's
you're
still
gonna
quick.
Feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. We started this, and I want to talk about this more when we come back, but we opened this talking about you looking at your family members and realizing, you know what, I don't want to suffer those same type of ailments as I age. Yeah. And that's when you decided to take on this lifestyle. I want to talk more about that when we come back. All right. More with Breanna Hawkins when we come back. You stay with us.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy. But you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Hello and welcome to the show. You know, today we're talking with Breanna Hawkins. Breanna Hawkins is a young vegan. And it always encourages me when I see young people doing things to really take better care of their health and really to just share this information to help empower our community. And today, Breanna, you know, you have just done a great job of helping us to understand pescatarian, vegetarian, and vegan. You know, what really impressed me most, though, is you said you looked around at your family members and you looked at how some of them had diabetes and hypertension, things of that nature, and you made a commitment that that's not what you wanted for your life.
Yeah.
Talk about that and how we all should take a look at ourselves and our family.
Yeah, I guess the normal thing to do would be to just continue to do exactly what your family does, because that's the first place you learn a lot about life, right?
Yeah.
But I looked around and I didn't make the same connection with food. I didn't understand, why are we eating it if it's not really doing much for us other than just the enjoyment? And I thought, how is it possible that you can't enjoy food and let it be healthy for you at the same time? So just asking myself, I've always asked a lot of questions throughout life, and sometimes they got me in trouble because I talk a lot. But just asking myself those questions and then just wanting to explore it. So I knew like you could still explore desserts and still have the same enjoyment that you would with alternatives that would be plant-based. And then I said, okay, so how can I explore that? And that's when I made the decision to study nutrition. See, like, what is the makeup? What is the chemical makeup of food? What is the biological effect on us?
Yeah. You know, I like what you just said there. This is not something that you just heard other people talking about and say, well, other people are trying it, let me try it.
Yeah.
No, you actually went to school to study this, to say, you know what, I want to make sure that I get this right. I want to perfect this. That's commendable. Yeah, because sometimes we hear people doing stuff, we're like, oh, okay, everybody else is doing it. It's good enough for me.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to make sure that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So
Yeah.
how are you now empowering other family members and your friends with this information?
Yeah, with my friends, I've learned that a lot of people can get intimidated by the lifestyle, or they automatically don't want to be shamed. So I've learned that that's a really important part. If you want to influence anybody, if you want to support anybody, you can't condemn them for not living the same lifestyle. In a lot of ways, it's not even realistic with the knowledge that's out there. It's not a lot of representation for it. So then you have to be that light for them. So that's what I do. I just have conversations about it, especially if they say, I want to try it. And I ask them, well, what's stopping you? What's your diet like now? Yeah. And I just ask them those questions to really hear their concerns versus just telling them, this is what I did and this is what you need to do, because it's not going to work that way.
You know what, you said that, and that's certainly true as it relates to a vegan lifestyle. But I think that's true with any differences that we have with anyone. I think today our society has gotten to the point where if someone doesn't agree with us on social media, now you condemn this person because you don't agree with their view.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's have a conversation. Let's try and understand it from the other person's perspective.
Right.
So to hear that from a young person such as yourself, I think that's very inspiring to know that young people have the ability to be able to see things that way as well.
Yeah.
It's talking about social media. You mentioned a moment ago that you really don't have a lot of interaction on Facebook.
Not Facebook.
Why?
Yeah, well, I see a lot of that on there. It's just people arguing with each other and missing the whole point, even within these pages that are meant to help uplift the community. Yeah. You see people within that community arguing because they've created these sub-communities within that community. And it's just like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather meet people in person and have genuine conversations. Or I do Instagram. Yeah. Because on Instagram, you can kind of create the community that you want to see on there by following people with like minds.
Okay. Good stuff.
You can filter it out.
So you know what? I mean, I'm just really impressed with your story and how you have really just progressed in this whole healthy lifestyle. What's next for Breanna Hawkins? I mean, what should we expect to see come from you? You're teaching classes, so you're helping folks in that way. What are some other ways you're going to help folks to be healthy?
I am trying to figure out how I'm going to help people with preventative health care, and that would be through plant-based nutrition. And I've been trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be with that, whether it's just having a position in Dallas where I'm helping with community health, or whether it's learning to meal prep for people, or just maybe even I'm recently considering maybe being kind of a nutritional coach for people.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. And as far as teaching, I love teaching. It's something that comes so natural, and it's something that I almost shouldn't have the luxury of doing with my busy life, because it's so much that goes into creating a class, but it comes naturally even if it's the night before, I can still create something that is enjoyable and still special to me and to them. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, but I'll just be updating on my Instagram about where I'm teaching next.
Okay, and we'll be sure to share that information. In closing, I want to ask you, you talked about meal prep, and there may be folks who are considering going into whether pescatarian, vegetarian, or vegan lifestyle, but don't quite know how to prepare the meals. Do you subscribe to this? I mean, it sounds like you're looking to offer it. So do you really agree with the whole meal prep, I guess, movement, if you will? If maybe that's something that someone should consider doing until they can learn how to prepare their own meals?
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Some people have that luxury of meal prepping just for themselves, or the lack of the luxury of, like, I guess, not having a meal prepper.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. So maybe you don't have enough money to pay somebody to do it, so you have to find time in your busy schedule to do it.
Yeah.
And that's still something that's amazing. Or maybe you do, and you don't have time at all, so you have to pay someone else to do it for you. I agree with it either way, as long as your intention is just to have a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're changing your lifestyle versus just like dieting, because dieting always fades.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what we talked about earlier, that this is not a diet for you. This is a lifestyle for you.
whole lifestyle.
And one that you've been committed to.
Yeah.
So again, congratulations.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed this conversation with Anna. And again, she's given us so much information as it relates to vegetarian, vegan, or pescatarian. And I want to encourage you to follow her on Instagram. We got her Instagram handle there on the screen for you. Follow her on Instagram and check it out, and just follow her on this journey, because again, she's going to have more great information to share with you. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Until the next time, take care of yourself.